All right, Coach's Corner, episode 11. As you can see, my main man Seth is not with me. He's out in Egypt on a mission trip with his pastor, so I'm going to do it solo today. Going to be a little bit of a quicker one, but I'll get to the point. And one of the main things that I wanted to talk about today was why your calorie deficit isn't working. So for a lot of us, we're inaccurately tracking our calories. So we go into MyFitnessPal and we see, or we're out somewhere eating and we see that, okay, I ordered this chicken with this rice and this broccoli, and then you get on your MyFitnessPal and you look up chicken, rice, and broccoli meal, and then you just go ahead, 540 calories, that looks about right. I'm gonna go ahead and track that and log it in. When in reality, when you're out eating somewhere, you don't really know how much oil is in that food that's being cooked, how much butter's on it, all these other variables that come into it, you completely have no control of. So when it comes to tracking your calories, you want to definitely make sure that you have a scale and that you're able to weigh out your food. And the best thing to do is cook that food yourself. That way you know exactly what's in there. You're in control of all the variables. And yeah, just really put yourself in complete control. That way you know exactly what's in that food. And point number 2, we're going to talk about water weight. So a lot of times, like, we think that the deficit that we're in isn't working because our body sometimes holds on to more water one day than it would the other day. So you could fall asleep and you weigh that night before, you weigh 174, and then you wake up and then you might be weighing 170. A lot of times at the end of the day, your body's going to hold more water just because it's built up throughout the day, whatever you've ate. A lot of times if you're eating something that has higher sodium in it, your body's going to cling onto that and hold that water. For you ladies, if you're on your period, that's another way where you're going to hold a lot more water as well. So try not to, the biggest advice that I would say with that water weight is try not to get discouraged super fast and then just be quick to change up your diet, change up your calories. Sometimes your body needs some time to adapt to the calories you're giving it. So one of the most common things I see with a lot of the female clients in here, and male as well, I don't want to single out just the females, but is we'll give them some calories and they'll say that's way too much food. I don't want to eat that much food. I can't eat that much food. And you got to listen to us because you've been in a super low calorie deficit and sometimes your body's not getting enough food. So sometimes when we give you these higher calories, in reality, your body needs that, and we need to train your body to be able to survive and to be able to thrive off of that many calories. So I get at first, if you were eating 1,300 calories and then you bump that up to 1,900, you're a little bit intimidated at first as far as how can I lose more weight by eating more calories. So we're real quick you'll do it a couple of days. You'll notice you might hold a little bit more water. You might gain a pound or 2, and then you're quick to say, no, I'm not going to do it. And then you change it up and you never go through it. So then you're just on this hamster wheel, just over and over. I'm going to do it my way or the highway. But in reality, we got to trust the process and not be so quick to change things up. And then point number 3 is that you're just flat out not tracking. So you can't improve what you're not measuring. A lot of times we'll try to guess as well. So you don't want to track because you feel like it's too much work. And a lot of the clients, I think, even if you track for 2 to 3 weeks, it puts food into a completely different perspective, because if you don't understand this is how many grams of chicken this is, or this is how many ounces of rice this is, if you don't understand that, then you're going into it blind. You have no idea. If I told you guys to go out and eat 2,000 calories without tracking, you would have no idea what 2,000 calories look like. But me, for example, or Seth, or some of these people that have a little bit more experience tracking, you could tell me to go out and eat 2,000 calories, and without tracking, I have a pretty good idea because I've tracked for so long that I have a good idea of, just by eyeing and looking at the food, how many calories that I would be consuming and eating. So it's super important. I think we need to track and at least have an understanding of that in order to know that we're in a calorie deficit. So don't play the guessing game. Just make sure that you're tracking your food, you're doing it properly. If you have any questions, we would love to help. So just definitely reach out to us and we'll help guide you in the right direction as far as that. So to kind of cut these points down real quick, first, we're inaccurately tracking. So we're not knowing what we're putting in our body. we're logging in the wrong foods in MyFitnessPal, we're not in control of all the variables. So let's get in control of those variables and control what we can control. Second is you're holding water weight. When you see that water weight, you think you lost 5 pounds overnight, or you think you gained 5 pounds overnight. In reality, you didn't. So you get discouraged, or you get a little bit too encouraged, and you're super quick to change things, or you kind of get false hope on how weight loss works because you see all this water weight come off at first, and you think that you just steady need to lose 5-6 pounds a week, but we really need to back it off a little bit and sustainably lose 1 to 2 pounds a week. That way we're not losing muscle with it and just sucking all that out of it too, because that muscle is going to be super important. The more muscle we have, the bigger the engine is, the more we're going to efficiently burn calories. And then point number 3 is that you're just flat out not tracking. So we got to be able to control, like I said, control the variables. You can't improve what you're not in control of. So we got to track our food and at least get an idea of it at first. And then once we start to get an understanding of how food works, it's game over from there. You're in complete control of everything. So yeah, those 3 quick tips. Hopefully that helps you guys out. This is Coach's Corner, episode 12, and I'll see you guys in the next one.